EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now, Charles, you and I, we've done a lot of games together. Always seems like we're rehashing the same storylines. Turnovers, of course, always a big story. Quarterback play, running backs, yada, yada, yada. But getting ready for this one word kept coming to mind, and that's preparation.
Well, it's critical to be prepared. Physically, mentally. When you think about getting ready for an NFL game, you have to wonder, what will they throw at us that maybe we haven't seen before? 2-minute drill, maybe different things like that. Got to be prepared. You're exactly right.
And off we go from Denver. And we will not have a run back here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line.
Ready, set. Blue striker. Let's go now.
First play, and Young is going to throw it. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 26. Huge play there right off the bat. 54 yards.
I've heard of quick strike offenses, but this has taken that to the extreme. I mean, the very first snap of the ball game, normally you're thinking, let's get our quarterback comfortable and get him into the flow of the game. But not here. They come out attacking from the outset, and it pays off in a big way.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Perry. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. 15 yards. And the Broncos need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead. 3 plays already in the end zone. That was quick.
We always talk about offenses understanding what they want to do before they go into a game, and they practice it. They have their script and the plays they want to open with. But defenses aren't just reactive. They have their own ideas as well. These ideas didn't get implemented very well. 3 plays and a touchdown already scored against them.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A play fake. Now Cunningham. Rolling to his right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Out of the gun here, it's Cunningham. Got a man, it's Randy Moss, complete. Down to the 10, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Randy Moss, 70 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And the last time out, look and repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And this is dropped.
Tighten up out there, defense. Tighten up.
In his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And that is not what you expect from a receiver of his caliber. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself. You don't look it in, and all of a sudden it's on the ground. A surprise to all.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. This is Perry. And he'll work down inside the 45.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 44-yard line, here's a second down and 6. They run with Perry. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 40 yards rushing for him now. He's carried the ball just 5 times. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go.
Perry.
That's all it takes. One person to hit him and slow him down. Let's go.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Let's go. Ready?
Now Young. That's complete to his running back, Perry. So
We're going to get one. We're going to get one.
Play. 3rd and 7 now.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Come on, dog.
Held it to an okay game. Everyone's eyes go to him when he nears the end zone, and that includes the coverage, who took away the easy throwing lanes and forced a high throw.
Ready.
Young to throw on 4th. And he is caught. He's got the first down and more than that. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver.
Go for the 2 then.
Marvin Harrison, 36 yards. And the Broncos' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Now for the point after. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
We are in it to win it. All right, defense. Momentum here, D. Boys, get one more stop.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. A give to the game's all-time leader, Emmitt Smith. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. From the 24 now, here's a 2nd and 7. Cunningham looking to throw. And that is is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. Here's Cunningham. And that is incomplete.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3-and-out.
They'll try and throw for it here. Sliding out of the pocket. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it.
Fourth down conversion, man. Let's go.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 47. Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Former first-rounder Derek Brown living up to the billing on that stop.
I got him.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Broncos force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there. And it's second down.
Let's go now. Ready.
Young now. Man open, here is Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 4-yard line. Young. He'll find Jones again, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside.
It's a building that's meant so much to the city of New Orleans and all of its residents over the years, and our coverage of the NFL has brought us to it, Caesars Superdome. Glad to have you all with us for another dose of NFL action. Kate Scott and Brock here again before. And Brock, if the build-up to kickoff has been any indication this week, then it's not good.
The two sides do. It's a game before the game. Any edge that you could create, and now's the time to kick it off, where you actually take care of business on the field, and you know that both sides are ready to go.
Return starts at the 9. He's got a lead up past the 30. They'll take over at the 39-yard line. Nice return there. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. Nick start with the pass. Makes the grab and bounds left side. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. A pickup there of 33 yards. And the Saints are going to have a first down. Out of the gun, it's Nix. It's caught. This is Ryan McConkey. And they get this down to the 10-yard line before going down. To the line we go. They're set 1st and 10. First carry here for the rookie out of Penn State. And he's short of the first after a mile gain. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6. Another carry for him. And he barrels across for the touchdown. extra point sent right down the middle. And the Saints will jump out to a 7-0 lead. On is the Saints kickoff team to tee it up and send it away. And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Throwing off the play fake here. Running left side by Jefferson. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Here's 2nd and 5. Able to find Jones. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
I know the combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. The throw on 1st. He's lost the football. And the Saints grab it. And they limit the damage on the return, but it is still a turnover. The Saints enjoying some good field position to start this drive off. 1st and 10 coming up. Here's the long back on the handoff. And he drives ahead for good yardage.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
And off we go from Las Vegas. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The first carry now for Adrian Peterson. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down. Off play action, it's Cunningham. He'll buy some time right. And it's complete to Antonio Gates. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 27 yards there, a 1st down. Now Cunningham. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs.
Here we go. Seven Pirates. Seven Pirates. Get in the end zone, fellas. Do this already.
Now a first down carry by Jones. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. This 2nd and 4. Again, it's Jones.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jump. Oh, his first throw. Picked up by Christian Gonzalez. It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football and certainly the loudest as we welcome you inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said, the key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Let's go now.
Now a first carry for Derrick Everett. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards on the gain. A great start for this offense.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
A nice move in midfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down. Absolutely no trouble moving the ball on the ground in the first 2 plays from scrimmage.
Absolutely. You know what I really like? Same guy carrying the ball in both plays. And what drives me crazy is when a back has a nice run, he taps his helmet to go out of the game. I would want the ball again and again and again because you've established really nice momentum, and now you're seeing the field really well.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Stewart. This will go to Henry out wide. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Stewart. Looking for Johnson.
Oh, yeah. I peeped him.
Just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. A play fake. Now Cunningham. They'll roll him out right. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 29, here's 2nd down and 7. Cunningham to throw. Throw right side, going to be complete to Moss.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Here is 3rd and 5. Cunningham looking to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Peterson. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Adrian Peterson, 27 yards. And the Dolphins are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
Let's go now.
Here's Stewart to throw it. And he hits Jason Witten, the tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The rookie from Florida State on target with that throw. His guys have a first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Stewart sets to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Johnson. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good game. 2nd down and 3. Throwing now, Stewart. On the catch, it's Andre Johnson. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. They'll try the right side with Henry. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner, and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
And they'll get this down to the 10. A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Throwing out of the shotgun, it's Stewart. This complete to Henry over the middle. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Stewart. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Jason Witten from 4 yards out. And the Chiefs are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point splits the uprights. And that is going to tie up the game as we approach halftime. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they'll have 50 seconds to work with, so that really plenty of time to try to put something together. Here's Cunningham. But it's caught on the right side at Smith. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Peterson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Cunningham. Rolling to his right. On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Now a 3rd and 6. Now Cunningham. Sliding out of the pocket. He finds his man, complete. That's Peterson. They call it a loss of a yard there. And it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Oh, tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby Bell. And the Chiefs are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Looking downfield for Jones. And into a sea of defenders had intercepted. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles, as we start the third quarter. Curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee-wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1? Operating from the gun. Cunningham. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, the turnover fuss continues. Here's another interception. Picked off by Eric Murray. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. So an opening drive interception to begin this second half.
And just think about the time you spent in the locker room going over what you expected to do in the second half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this hole.
The Juju Brents comes up for the stop. 2nd and 9. Now Perry. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
A gain of 19 and picking up the first. Inside handoff, Henry. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Derrick Henry from 17 yards out, and the Chiefs have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle, and that makes the score 14-7. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Eric Murray. And the Chiefs are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Boy, Charles, that is now 3.
It's the building that was open the year the franchise became known as the Titans. Welcome to Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. Welcome, everybody, to the booth. I'm Kate Scott, joined by Brock Ewart for this game. And Brock, as a former quarterback, I know your focus is on the offensive side of the ball ahead of this kickoff.
Yeah, these two offenses are so fun to watch because the best offenses in this league, Kate, they're about trust. And it just pops out. When you study them during the week on the game film, you just see it. They trust one another. That's head coach, that's coordinator, that's play caller, that's to the quarterback, and then certainly the 11 on the field. Both these groups are getting it done.
And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10.
Hey, check, go.
Henry gets in here to start the drive.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. On the shotgun, Brissett. Buys time, rolling right. He's keeping it. And he's going to be out of bounds, I think, a yard or two short of the 20 here.
Well, the QB made something happen and got some yardage when the play didn't develop right, and even got himself out of bounds to avoid a hit. The only negative at all is he couldn't quite get the first down.
Third down, it's Brissett. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down.
Okay, ready? Go, Reed, go. Let's go now.
From the front, there he goes, crossing the 45. The 18 yards out, it's in a new set of downs.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run. But I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw.
And they bring him down around the 34.
Part of the reason I leave you pregame, Kate, and get down to that field and watch these guys throw and catch is I want to see their timing. I want to see their anticipation. That is picture perfect right there. A crossing route thrown that quickly tells me these two are on the same page.
And he's tackled for the first down.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that first down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
Offense sure is marching to begin this game. Here's a first down from the 30. Hits him on the out route. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes second and third down a whole lot easier to manage.
19 tight, 19 tight. Ready? Trap 60, trap 60. Ready?
Shotgun now for Brissett. And look at the footwork there. Touchdown. The Titans finish up an excellent opening series. That one right down the middle. And the Titans will jump out to a 7-0 lead. The Titans kicking team out there as they get lined up and kick this away. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. This defense offering no room at all up the gut there. No gain. Jack Gibbons in on the tackle. Second and 10 now. And pass complete to Moss. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. So before they get the snap away, we reach the end of the first quarter. Neither side separating much so far. More from Nissan Stadium coming up after the break. Back for the start of quarter number 2. It's Dolphin football as we begin. They'll try to attack this deficit starting with first and 10. And he's brought down for a loss. Looking quickly here. Second and 12 behind the sticks. We'll get this one out to his running back complete. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
They touch him down as he finds enough to pick up the first.
That's a BYOB. You got to be your own blocker. It would have taken the entire defense piling on to stop him from getting that first down. Well done.
Here we go, here we go.
Play action on first down. Someone stepped in. It's intercepted. And the Titans take possession of the football. Worked through his progression, nobody available, and by the time he checked it down to the back, you could almost see it coming. A defender there to intercept it.
Because those defenders have clocks too. I mean, we get so enamored talking about a quarterback's clock. The defenders do as well, and they know when a quarterback's holding the ball, likely a check down is coming. That is just smart defensive play.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5.
Get up! Viking 18! Cougar 19! Red Lion! Go!
Running once more with Henry. And he'll pick up enough to move the chain.
The showcase of the best players in the NFL is coming up as we celebrate the latest edition of the Pro Bowl. The stars of the AFC and NFC are ready to shine. Next on EA Sports.
This is a very special presentation of EA Sports in the National Football League as we come to you from the stadium where the legendary coach and our namesake John Madden once paced the sidelines. This is the Coliseum in Oakland, and it will play host to the annual AFC-NFC Pro Bowl, part of the Pro Bowl games. The best and brightest the league has to offer on display. The NFL Pro Bowl is underway. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here comes the AFC for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first Wyoming quarterback to go in the first round, standing 6'5". It's Josh Allen.
And in this league, there are many quarterbacks who have their most success running the ball, while there are others who have big arms. There aren't too many guys who can do both. And at the end of many games, this guy leads his team not just in passing, but in rushing as well.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Chase, the motion man right. Throwing now is Allen. Open man is Chase, complete. And And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play. That's his first catch in this, his first Pro Bowl.
And if I were him, I'd keep the football. I know it may seem like a little thing, but as you said, his first Pro Bowl, that's a big announcement to the rest of the league that he's arrived, that he's one of the better players. Keep the football, put it up on the mantle, and celebrate his first Pro Bowl catch. Hopefully there'll be more to come.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with second and a couple.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. It's not often that we chastise people in the Pro Bowl, but offensive line, come on now. You got to give him a chance back there. He got clobbered on that play.
They need 2. Here's third down. Throw caught by Flowers. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in third in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Flowers. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up second down. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at it.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
That's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. Here's Allen to throw it. He completes it to Henry. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard stripe. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area, that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting. Well, no surprise there. Extremely reliable during the regular season. Bailed his team out time and again. Knocks another one through, this time in the Pro Bowl.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. So out comes the NFC for their initial drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
And at one point, the ascension of Jared Goff was really, really strong. Back-to-back Pro Bowls, took his team to the Super Bowl, and came really within 1 quarter of winning it. But since that time, he's had bouts of inconsistency, and that's been the struggle for him as he tries to get back to the form he showed earlier in his career.
They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley, and nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now it's gone. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. Back deep to return is Marvin Mims. This is taken around the 12. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. So now the AFC offense here coming back out for their second drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. On play action, Allen. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Allen. That's complete to the fullback, Ricard. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Allen going to throw. And that will be incomplete. Jalen Johnson that time able to knock it away.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Kevontae Turpin is deep for the NFC. Gets by him at the 25. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. So now we'll get our second look in this game at the NFC offense. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive.
Yeah, that's a nice pickup there, especially when it comes on the heels of a 3 and out the first time you have the ball. They were determined to not have that happen again, and that's a nice throw for their first down of the game.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Goff now to throw. This one goes out wide for Barkley. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
St. Brown in motion right. Here's a fake on the jet sweep as they'll go instead with Barkley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Here's Gall. Well, that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. The AFC set to take over on offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Allen now looks to throw. That's complete. It's Travis Kelce. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
He dumps it off for Henry. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And Chase will go in motion left. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen throwing the out route here, and it's complete to Kelce. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Allen going to fake the jet sweep and the handoff and look to throw. Touchdown! Jamar Chase from 19 yards away. And the AFC adds on to their lead.
When you're a great route runner, it makes you that much better as a receiver, because now your quarterback trusts that you're going to be where he expects, and he's able to deliver the ball on time.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here now the NFC to take over on offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Here's Goff. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
2 yards, good enough for a first. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Goff. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd down and 1. A shotgun snap for Goff. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, try to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. In this case, he picks up a first down.
Well, here's a fake on a jet sweep, and they'll look to throw it off play action. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack. I think a lot of time when we see a sack, you say, well, you blame it on the offensive line, the quarterback, but here, maybe you just tip your hat to the defender. What a play.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they just get a sense of the play before the ball's even snapped. Kind of like a sprinter anticipating the gun in a race. They're off, and guess what? The quarterback's down.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Now a play fake, and it's gone. And he's got this to Jefferson. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And Barkley did not get there. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. They go ahead and snap it. Goff working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Back to throw. Goff. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. A handoff to Barkley on the option. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Now Goff on 3rd and goal. And it's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
They'll turn things over to Brandon Aubrey now for the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is indeed good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So, 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The AFC offense making their way back out. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. In motion left, Flowers. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On the counter, it's Henry. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Allen off the play fake. And he'll get this underneath to Henry. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
A quick throw caught out wide by Judy. To the 40 and no further, so the razzle-dazzle didn't get him much. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports. The AFC with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. As they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Now Allen. Right back to Judy, and it's complete. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Again, they'll throw with Allen. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On play action, Allen. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. So the shotgun snap to Allen. It's Kelsey on the ground. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd down and 8. Play action. Now it's Allen. And he will throw this one out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive. 2 for 2. Here's Allen. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Boswell's kick is good, and they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So no problems at all on that one. And you know there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And able to get this out to the 25. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Here's Goff. Over the middle, complete. That's Lamb. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Barkley inside handoff. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Goff now to throw. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half, and now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. The AFC's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. The offense for the AFC set to go now. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Here's 2nd and 3. Henry up the middle. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle. That's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Throw caught by Flowers. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Allen. That went into the hands of Flowers. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
A 1st down carry for Henry. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. He will find his man Chase complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet, as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Running from the gun with Henry. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
2nd and 6. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Allen going to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. On play action, Allen. And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. Zay Flowers, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the AFC is able to widen their advantage. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Boswell for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with an AFC touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The NFC about ready to set up shop offensively. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Goff now looks to throw. Got St. Brown running the quick slant here. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Goff. Justin Jefferson bringing in the slant. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. The result, a 1st down as the quick slant gets them 14.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This 1st half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
A first down carry for Barkley. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
2nd and 10. Here's Goff. Out of his hands quickly. And he lost the football. And that's picked up by the AFC. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. To throw is gone. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Goff. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They'll set up the screen to Barkley. But he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception, and that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to it and hold it for just a short gain.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will close the gap down to 14. So it's 4th and 1. They wind up taking the 3. But I'm not sure that that offensive unit, judging by the sideline, Charles, was in 100% agreement with the decision.
No, not at all. But the head coach has final call on this. We know that. But let's face it, offenses want to feel like, hey, you believe in us, let us go for it. We'll see if that is a problem for them moving forward in this game.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The AFC's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. Allen off the play fake. Throw right side is going to be caught by Judy. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing now is Allen. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henry. Yeah, he will score. Touchdown AFC. Derrick Henry, 72 yards. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. That's what we want right there, CD. It's a Pro Bowl. Give us some of these long touchdowns.
We want plays that cover a lot of ground. We want long-distance plays, whether long-distance runs, long-distance passes. It doesn't matter. In the Pro Bowl, big plays are what we're all looking for.
Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Escapes the defender. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here now the NFC to take over on offense. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. This one goes out wide for Barkley. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. Here's Goff. That's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Goff. That'll be caught in St. Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a 1st?
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. Gets this one a use check. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
They'll come up 2nd and 7. Off play action. Here's Goff. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
A 3rd field goal of the 1st half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Goff. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
And his kick here is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The offense for the AFC set to go now. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. It's Kelsey on the ground. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Allen to throw it. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelsey. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Here's Allen. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, it's Allen. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. So the completion good for just 3. And it's second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their second, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now Allen. Open man is Chase, complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a second and just a few inches left. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This from 25 yards out. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The final shot before break here. Goff. He'll let this go deep for St. Brown. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. So we have hit halftime of the Pro Bowl with the AFC leading the NFC. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
We were treated to a solid first half of football by the great quarterback, Josh Allen. He's over 300 yards passing already as he's looking to possibly put his name in the record book.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the NFC to possess it first as we are back and underway for the third quarter. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game. Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Up the middle with Barkley. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
2nd down and a yard. They'll run it again with Barkley. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner, because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. Got to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant,
A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Goff now looking to throw. He's got his tight end McBride on the out route. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
They run the option on 2nd down. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches.
Together, defense. Keep it together.
On 3rd down, Barkley. But he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. Now Goff. Flushed out right. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Barkley will take this one in. Touchdown, NFC.
And that's a step in the right direction. This had the feeling of one of those turning point kind of drives. If you come up empty there, it could be a long road back. But they persevered and hung around, and they closed the gap here in the 3rd quarter with their first touchdown of the game.
Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14. A 10-play drive that time. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
And you can say that again, they've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. chase the motion man right. On play action, Allen. Well, the NFC pressure a little too much as they get home for the sack. But Nick Bosa so quick on the outside, he gets in there to bring him down. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Henry out of the pistol. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 55 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. To the air, Allen. He's going to have the hook up here that chipped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Two yards to go, 2nd down. Flowers going to go in motion right. He's going to handle it on the touch pass. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Now Allen. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Allen. That went into the hands of Flowers. They'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a letdown defensively because they had them stacked up 3rd and long, and you know their thought process had to be just make the tackle in front of the sticks and force the 3. Instead, they allowed him room to run, and now they're facing 1st and goal, looking to regroup.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Well, the pressure just couldn't get to him that time. They forced him out to his right, but he held his poise, surveyed the field, didn't find anything he liked, and then took off and picked up a nice gain.
From the 2 now, second and goal. Play action. Now it's Allen. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Sacked by Andrew Van Ginkel.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Big play coming here. It's third and goal. Throwing now is Allen. They set up the screen for Henry. And he will score. Touchdown AFC. Derrick Henry with his second touchdown of the night as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Boswell for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So that drive spans 13 plays.
And it was finished off on the touchdown reception by Derrick Henry.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Go, take it to the house.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The offense for the NFC back out there.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Now gone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Second and 10 now from the 27. On the draw, this is Barkley. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Goff. And he is caught, and he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Play action. It's Goff. And he'll go right back to Lamb. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They go right back to him for 20 and a 1st.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
Goff connects with Kittle underneath. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's McBride. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Goff now to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. To the air again. Goff. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Gotta figure this is one they need here on 3rd and goal. Goff. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
And this one is right through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Another 3 on the board. He's been the lone bright spot. That's now 4 field goals.
If this offense had finished a few drives, we'd be looking at a different complexion to this ball game, because right now, the trade is really wrong for them, isn't it? They're trading field goals while the other team's scoring touchdowns. That's not going to work.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Back out is the AFC offense. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The offense for the AFC set to go now. They begin with Henry. He stiff arms him. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 70 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Oftentimes, broken tackles are his specialties. And put another one on his tally there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. One-on-one, not likely to get him down. You need everyone else to get there and help you. I think they were signaling for you and I to jump on the pile and try and get him down, weren't they?
You don't want me out there, I promise you. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Allen now looks to throw. Left sideline a dime, and it looks like he's got it. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
He may go back to the huddle and have a little discussion with his passer. You know, maybe you don't have to leave me quite that much. But on that play, bailed him out in a big way, didn't he?
He did indeed. Hey, at least he gets to put it on the highlight reel. Inside handoff. He'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now, this one has been fun so far, as the Pro Bowl usually is. A lot of relaxed faces out there. 2nd and 10. Allen gonna throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's scooped up by the NFC. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, number 1 on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the third. That right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away when you have a lead that you can lock this game down with.
The NFC about ready to set up shop offensively. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
From the gun, here's Goff. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's the AFC in possession, though they trail here to begin the 4th. The numbers for the NFC on 3rd down, just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. Here it's 3rd and 2. To throw is Goff. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That's taken on the 25. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And that will come the offense as they take over. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Pass complete to Judy on the out route. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Allen off the play fake. And he'll find the open man. That's complete. Down the right sideline. Touchdown! Jamar Chase, his 2nd touchdown of the night, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the fourth quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and they open the lead up now to 25. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Here now the NFC to take over on offense. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Goff now looks to throw. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
At this stage.
And now some disagreement down on that sideline. The red flag is out, and we're going to get a challenge. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. And he is caught down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Do you think after that last run they're thinking to themselves, we had to wait all day to play this night game, and we're still not able to run the ball the way we want to?
Yeah, this defense, they've risen to the challenge all evening long. 2nd and goal from the 1. Goff now looking to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. And Barkley will try to punch it in, and he will carry this one in. Touchdown NFC. Saquon Barkley taking it in from a yard out. And the NFC able to cut into that lead.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Aubrey good with a PAT, and that'll cut the lead down to 18. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a Saquon Barkley touchdown run. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. The offense for the AFC set to go now. And a busy night for Henry continues. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Here's 3rd and 7. To the air, Allen. Get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the first on the scramble.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. They'll try the right side with Henry. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 90 yards rushing for him now as he continues to lead the way for the AFC. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark, got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscle all over the field and getting pushed down it.
It's a 13-yard pickup as the downs reset. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
And he will take this in for an AFC touchdown. Josh Allen, 14 yards, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
If you're going to play quarterback in the NFL, you've got to have great vision, and you've got to remain calm when things break down in the pocket. Both of those traits were on display there. He surveys the situation, sees the middle of the field open, so he's just going to step up and take it himself. Very well done there.
Boswell good with the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. That time a 9-play drive, and it was Josh Allen using his legs to polish things off. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. From a star in college to a star in the NFL, CeeDee Lamb at wide receivers, he brings out this offense. They have to like what they've gotten from him in this game.
Think about the accumulation of catches.
8.
The yards per catch now, because you're getting more than a first down every time he's touching the ball. This is the kind of game you want when you're able to throw it out wide.
Absolutely. Over 100 yards, has the 8 catches. Now Goff. And it's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now it's Goff, able to hit his target Lamb. 7 yards there and a first down. Here's Goff. Open man right side is St. Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Back to throw. Goff connects with Kittle underneath. And he's got this down to the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more on that one and another first down. Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary. Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the first down.
From the 21, here's the 2nd and 8. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. And it's caught on the deflection. And this is going to be a touchdown. Such an art to dot the I, just get the feet in right there against the line before going out of bounds.
Such an incredibly graceful, athletic play, but also a lot of practice goes into it. They work on that to make sure that they learn how to train their feet to get down in bounds.
Aubrey now for the point after.
Stay focused.
And that'll cut the lead down now to 18. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's finished off by the touchdown from CeeDee Lamb. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be secured by the AFC. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
Here, guys. Shut them down. Play some defense out there, boys.
Henry running right. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. On play action, Allen. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. Jamar Chase, 48 yards. And the AFC adds on to their lead. So add another one into the touchdown column. What a game. That is now 6 touchdown passes for him so far in this one. Extra point now by Boswell. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy two-play drive that time. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Now Goff. And it's a fumble. And that's picked up by the AFC.
You've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. And really a lot of guys you could highlight on this offense with how well played, but he's one of them. He's been spectacular so far.
I'd say offense to him. He's run it really well. He's caught it out of the backfield. They're trying to stop him.
And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Second down, they go again with Henry. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach that I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 144 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the AFC with the football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Again to Henry. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Now 2nd and 9. Henry up the middle. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, final thoughts on this AFC victory?
Bottom line, nobody appeared to be seriously hurt. That's the first thing we look for in this game. Well played, a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. I think that everyone's going to go home pretty happy, especially the AFC since they won the game.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. So long, everybody.